my folks both raised very poor, Green Lake district of Seattle. There's no family money behind them. But Dad started the Burke Mill in Fremont in 1939, and the idea was to keep the guys working because in 37 his boss had died, and if he hadn't put Burke Mill together, the employees of the Guarantee Mill would have all been out on the welfare lines. So he started Burke Mill. Mom was the person who they just did things right down the line together. Mom always said, the business is his, I take care of the family. I mean, they were like a team. And for us, the whole thing about our estate comes encapsulated in something my mom and dad both said to me when I came to work for them. I was 30 years old. I already had 3 children. I was divorced. Dad says, you got to come down and look after your interests. And I said, what do I need? And he says, I need you. And at 70 years old, he and Mom, 4 years younger, said, our business is doing just fine, but Fremont needs a lot of help. So when I walk around, there's a little Fremont across the top of my head here, and our family works on not just being a family, a business, but also our community, which happens to be Fremont, which is a little piece of Seattle, but sometimes it gets much bigger than that. Bear in mind, we have this saying in Fremont that we suck you in. there's a thing that happens. So, I mean, I have members of the Fremont Chamber of Commerce that have very widespread addresses. Anyway, from under the bridge, the Burke Mill grew into the Burke Industrial Center, and now is that particular 19 acres of property is Fremont Lake Union Center. It used to be Quadrant Lake Union Center. It's now Fremont Lake Union Center, a great big land lease. And so a big piece of what our family estate is Fremont Dock Company, half of which is land leases, long-term focus on that, and the other half is a lot of little junky properties that you and I all know and love. I came to Allen because I had gone through 18 years of running estate planning for my mom and dad from a point in time where literally there were people who said, you can't do anything about this. I remember a lawyer at Bogle and Gates, nice guy, but said, Joe, I don't understand why you care so much. It's just 50 cents on the dollar. And Dad said, because it's my dollar. I remember the Deloitte guys saying, get ready for about $8.6 million in estate tax. And my dad's head bumped against the ceiling. Are you kidding? I told Amina it cost $1 million to write that book. Then the feds write another book. So they're spending $1 million of your dollars and mine to get this process done. I had to send with that book $1.4 million written in a check. And I usually say, in less polite company, and the government pissed it away in how many minutes? Probably seconds. And so, I mean, my folks we're strong Catholic charities, strong on education in the Catholic community, strong on things going into our Fremont community, and let's face it, very conservative Republican and what other kinds of causes, because we're a business and we have to be able to continue being a business. The 2 girls said, son Michael, who is the youngest, needs to be in charge. Needs to be in charge of the business eventually, needs to be in charge of the estate for you, because you are so young, you might outlive some of us. I mean, that's my children's estate plan. Mother, just outlive us so we don't have to do this. Anyway, with that, that made a big change right there. Son Michael had been out on the road with rock and roll for 15 years, and literally our conversation talked him into maybe giving us 5 years to see if he liked running real estate in Fremont. Today, he's helping. I feel I'm the helper. He's running real estate in Fremont. But it's always about then putting it back into the community. So that's a challenge with our tax code.